Number 2 of the afternoon is an elimination 185-pound Muay Thai bout. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner. Please make welcome Brandon James Taylor.
From 160 pounds, we bump it up a little bit to a couple of 180-pounders. More power in the punches. Still in a weight class where the guys almost always come in, though, exceptionally well conditioned. I love the 180-pound weight class where you see a good combination of conditioning and strength. And Mr. Taylor, a representative of DCO MMA. Former professional fighter Steve Poprocki, principal of that gym, be offering up the instructions from the corner this evening. We got guns. We got guns. And run. Some Muay Thai fight promotions and tournaments that happen here in Colorado. There's been a bit of a resurgence recently, and we see a lot of the DCO MMA fighters at those Muay Thai specific
fighting out of the
events.
blue core, shooting center blue corner. Please make welcome Jarrett, the Irish Assassin Kelton.
And 5-3 for Taylor as his record, whereas it's a 0-0 record for Mr. Kelton. So Taylor with a significant experience advantage stepping into the cage.
Number 2 of the afternoon is presented by Brandon Dodge. Come visit Brandon Dodge, home of the big deal for knockout deals. Number 1 Dodge and Ram store in Colorado, it's Brandon Dodge. It's now time to meet the elimination 185-pound Muay Thai fighters first. Fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner. From DCO MMA in Denver, Colorado, please make welcome Brandon James Taylor.
Strong ovation for Mr. Taylor.
And now, fighting out of the blue core, shooting center blue corner. From Bang Muay Thai and One Hit MMA in Layton, Utah, please make welcome Jarrett, the Irish Assassin 10. This elimination 185-pound Muay Thai bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. Referee Rob Mullings.
Okay, guys, you were giving your instructions in the dressing room. Both you guys can clearly see what to keep it above. You guys got any questions for each other? All right, tap up. Let's do it.
Silver trunks for Mr. Brandon Taylor representing DCO MMA, and the white, black, and orange trunks for Mr. Kelton representing Bang Muay Thai, or Ludwig Martial Arts. And immediately looking to go upstairs. Kelton not waiting for any kind of a feeling out process. And I have to correct myself, I believe earlier I said 180 pounds. These guys are fighting at 185.
Let's circle a put one on him. Circle a bit and put one on him.
Taylor early on being the one that's pressuring forward with his footwork, but so far the more powerful and dominant strikes being shown by Mr. Kelton. And Kelton just blasting a body kick there. Nicely done.
Play nicely.
And again, targeting the liver.
Circle out of that, please.
Saw Boss Rutan on Kelton's shirt as part of the Bang Muay Thai system. And Mr. Rutan, of course, a huge fan of the lever kick.
Kick. Kick the other leg. Let's play properly.
And Kelton being warned, as we talked about earlier, you can't hold.
That's that
You
time
can grab
for
it and
overhand.
throw it technique, but has to be immediate. And Kelton almost taunting his opponent by way of backing out with his hands down around his waist.
Hey, let's put some speed combos together. Finish flush. 30 seconds. Adam, baby.
Kelton lands solid with the left hook, backs out with his hands down, and eats a couple of counter shots because of it.
Good check. Now check back inside. Nope. Throw that. Cross. 2
Taylor works to go upstairs. 10-second clacker. Almost every coach in every gym will tell you hear that 10-second clacker. Do something impressive to end the round, and both these guys try. Kelton showing off his chin there. Says, yeah, you clipped me with a couple, but I can take it.
68 is presented by Real Water.
The Ludwig martial arts fighter, feeling he's in good enough shape. There's no need to make use of the stool between rounds. Have a feeling his corner's probably going to be telling him, don't back out with your hands down. You ask your opponent to hit you, and he may do exactly that. And we're checking out here on the replay, seeing Mr. Kelton reaching a little bit with his punches. Taylor doing a good job with his footwork, backing out, managing the distance. Like to see Taylor be just a little bit more circular on his way out, not back up straight. Taylor in the silver, Kelton in the orange. And Kelton ate a leg kick as he was trying to touch gloves there.
Angle off that, but great. Get in there. There you go.
Both these guys looking to work some high kicks today. I like it.
There you go, good. Quick hands, Brandon. Quick hands.
Not a lot in combat sports more exciting than a head kick knockout.
Keep those hands up. Watch that kill. Let him be lazy. Take that other leg. Atta, baby.
Kelton had a nice job with the right hand there, but then kind of lets his opponent off the hook. Again, just drops his hands and backs out, sort of admires his work.
Take that mix again. Hands up.
Taylor putting that experience to use, starting to switch up and mix his kicks side to side, as well as the levels of the kicks, and throwing in different punching combinations as well. So see how that experience plays out as we're about halfway through the fight now, just a little more than halfway, that is. have a feeling that Kelton's coaches are going to be in his ear a little bit about the hand dropping thing. And Kelton goes for the big overhand right there, a la Chuck Liddell. And Taylor's fans getting behind him as he puts together a flurry. Kelton goes for the knee. Started looking like it was going to come up toward the head in the elimination or amateur division here in Colorado. You cannot knee to the head at any time, be it kickboxing, Muay Thai, or MMA. And Kelton with the slip at the end, but it's because he was going for the head kick. Not going to be ruled a knockdown, but the referee goes in and cleans off the fighter's gloves. The reason you see the referee do that is the fighter's gloves touch the floor. They could pick up dirt and debris, and they don't want anything from the gloves to get into your opponent's eyes if you make contact with them. So that's why you'll classically see referees wipe off the gloves. And again, neither fighter making use of their stool. We see here on the replay, Kelton working the body kicks, but then backs out, has his hands down. Here comes that knee that he gets warned for. He didn't make contact, but here early on in their careers, the referee will step in and sort of help the fighters with the rules and let them know, hey, that's not something that's going to be tolerated. Get a few more fights under your belt, turn pro, then you can start knocking people in the chops with your knees. And now Taylor signals, hey, let's have a touch of gloves, and nobody leg kicks anybody else. But Kelton immediately looking to pressure forward. Kelton's corner probably told him he needs to fight with a little bit of urgency here. It's been a pretty close fight, so definitely if you have the energy for it, you're going to want to go out and try to put a stamp on the third round. Kelton looking to mix up his footwork, switch step there. Confuse the opponent as to which side the attack may be coming from. Nice job by Kelton of relaxing on blocking with his knee and his shin. Doesn't lift it up, doesn't make a big motion, just turns his knee in just a little bit, and it's just enough so that the fighters go shin to shin with it, and then it pretty much just becomes a matter of who's tougher. Kelton trying to show off his toughness there, and that can be one of the problems with doing that, is your opponent will light you up a little bit. Yeah, you might be tough enough to take it, but that doesn't impress the judges as much as the guy throwing the punches.
Don't reach it. Let's try to hold to that hook, that check hook.
Yeah, we got about 30. Let's go. Let's go. Activity. Hook low one. Hook low one kick. Activity, Brandon. Hook low one kick.
And Kelton starting to talk to his opponent and using some expletives in there, mixing them in, and you can actually get warned for that. Yeah, you're in the middle of a fight, but you start cursing at your opponent, it can be deemed unsportsmanlike conduct, and referee sometimes will step in and say something about that. And again, Taylor keeping himself calm, just lands a couple of shots, and end of the round, sees Kelton landing a nice spinning back fist, but we're going to go to the judges here for the second time this afternoon, and nice for the fans to get entertained to 6 rounds of modified Muay Thai here. As we're checking out the replay here, this is where Taylor put together a really nice flurry of punches. Kelton was saying, hey, you didn't hurt me, bring it on. And Taylor, happy to oblige, steps in, lands a couple of shots. Fight fans might wonder why you always see cornermen working to get those gloves off so fast after the end of the fight. Why not just wait till you get into the back room? Well, typically, classically, the gloves you want fitting very, very tight, and the hand wraps are probably going to be fairly tight as well. That helps hold the bones of the hand together, so as you make contact, there's less chance for the bones to bend and separate and have a fracture. So by the time you're at the end of a fight, your hands are actually maybe experiencing a little bit of discomfort by the fact that they've just been being squeezed so hard for so long. So that's why you're always seeing guys in there hurrying to get those gloves off. It's to sort of give those fighters a break. Both guys with a little post-fight celebration. See who the judges think ought to be celebrating the most.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Abeda scores about 29-28. Judge Hines scores about 29-28. And Judge Mann scores about 30-27. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Brandon James Taylor.
Congratulations to the DCO MMA fighter, Mr. Taylor, going home with the Muay Thai victory.
It is Sean in the cage with Brandon. Let's talk about that fight a little bit. What was the biggest key in this one to getting that unanimous decision?
Biggest key is not to let him get in my head and just keep throwing. Just keep the pressure or just move.
Obviously, he's one of those opponents that seems to want to get in your head a little bit. He talks to you during the fight. Do you have to block all that out, or do you use that as ammunition, if you will?
Use it as ammunition. Drew him in.
Certainly, man. What's up next for you?
Whatever's next.
And some people you want to thank, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsor, number one, my team, fans and family that came out to see me. Love all you guys. Thank you, Fight Fans.
Congratulations on that victory. Give it up once again for your winner, Brandon Taylor. Back with Fight